Hi everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel. My name is Paulina, and I have some cards to share with you. Picking up on the energy. Feels a little floppy. A little sloppy, floppy. I don't know. I feel like people are just like deflated right now. I'm not sure. It's the vibe I'm getting. Not just from you peeps, but like the world. It's like, what are we... It's almost like the feeling like, what are we moving towards? Like, what is the goal? Or like, but Spirit's saying like, you know what your goal is. Because I'm just feeling from the last reading, there's like somebody who's created a, like they've thought of this idea or this like thing they want to happen. And I have this rune, Ingwaz, which is fertility. It's actually about finishing a project and actually preparing and gestation. Confirmation hug. So I don't know if there's something that you've like begun that is just at its beginning stages, but you're also like thinking, how can I get this finished? Like, you know, you're like looking for ahead and you're working on this project, and you're also in a place of like making yourself a good vessel to grow this situation. And I think that it will grow. And I am also seeing someone who, like, if you're in a situation where like you get a couple dead ends at first with the way you present this situation, you will eventually find the right arena for this to be addressed within, meaning people who support your ideas or people who want to push this along and see that this is an issue or this is a thing. I just want to explain a little bit quickly about when I do readings. I was listening to some other readers today and like just so interested in other people's processes, and I really obviously don't have like a following, so I'm just like sort of new to consistently posting. And I mean, I just don't like think that's gonna happen for me, that I'm gonna have like thousands and thousands of followers. I just don't think so. But it could be. But it's curious for me, it's interesting for me to see the ones who get like tons of followers and like, you know, just I feel they have some sort of magical something going on with them. But one thing that someone was talking about, like where they are when they're watching the reading, and I was like, that's interesting, because I definitely feel like I'm out of body when I do a reading and I'm listening from some other part of myself and I'm hearing the words and I'm like, oh, does that make sense for me? Does that make sense for me? But I'm also not talking to anything specific in my life. But then later it feels specific, so it's very weird. Anyway, that's just my process. You may have been in a situation in your life where you felt like you were, you know, I don't want to say invisible, but just somebody made you feel that way, or like, you know, they tried to like erase you. And this has to do with like old trauma from like, I think a long time ago, because I think this person tried to turn like more people, like a community, against you in some ways. And it was damaging. But at the same time, I think you're now detaching from it and realizing that like this person is in fantasy, that they can like do this to people, and that, you know, they can just live their life this way, because the truth is there's karma, which is energetic, which is, you know, you don't have to serve it to the people who are cruel to you. Don't worry, it'll come for them. Because what we put out comes back to us by 3, okay? So if we put out something really nasty to someone, really like purposeful, and I'm seeing that energy here, like somebody, I don't know, you know, I'm getting family vibe. I don't know if it's like it could be like parents, in-laws, siblings, really anyone, uncles, extended family, just cousins, aunts, grandparents, really just anything that could get close, and or even just like in like the extended in-law family, which can get complicated as to like, are we second cousins, like what are we? There's somebody who like is not right in the head, okay, and they're like trying to like make these moves that affect you, and I feel that you've gotten away from the situation, and also you're putting it back where you're putting the blame and the guilt and the shame where it belongs, like not on you, okay? Like, you know, I'm just seeing somebody, I'm just hearing the words hot seat as I relax into the channeling of this, like hot seat. You were like in a hot seat, you had to like you may still be in a bit of a hot seat where maybe literally, maybe you're like in a situation where you're sitting a lot, I don't know, at your job or something, but you're like this person created like danger, okay? It's almost like I'm just seeing like flames under the hot seat. Like they created like a situation where you were scared, you know, and it wasn't right what they were saying. And it almost makes me want to cry, but I have the self-control to not cry because I'm not fully invested in this. I'm just showing you. It's almost like the Akashic Records. You know what that is? It's like, I see it as just numbers and codes, but other people might disagree. But it's like, it's just like the codes of our lives. Like, and that's what I'm like sorting through when I look at this energy. Just like, I know that some people might think that sounds out there, but I'm just looking at the info here, like the data and like the energy of that data. And it's like, you know, I love data. I love like qualitative and quantitative data because I'm just a weirdo. I love numbers. I love money. I'm telling you about the life of a Scorpio. Scorpio, I read something the other day. It was like sex and death, money and death. They're the main polarities of Scorpio. Thanks. Okay, but if we're gonna bring that, somehow that came into the reading. I feel like there was something that you maybe you like have been struggling financially because of this situation. Like this person made it tough for you in your finances in some way. I don't know how, but with the 7 again, it's just 2 7s there. So there's definitely something that like people are seeing through illusions also about each other, which can be hard and scary and sad, you know. But I was gonna say you're like starting to realize, okay, this is about this person's feelings of control. You know, this is about this person's feelings of sadism, that like, it's not about me, this is their problem. And like, let them deal with these issues. They're gonna try to act this way with others and it's gonna be a problem for them. And the best thing I can do is focus on myself. And actually, this is saying, King of Wands reverse, discharge some of that anger, because I'm just feeling some like latent anger that like maybe is like living down here in your like rib area. I don't know why, I just felt a pang in my rib, and I do see myself as like a spiritual intuitive, so maybe someone's just not breathing properly, like your diaphragm is just like flummoxed. I don't know. I just get this feeling like you are in a situation where you're not earning enough in someone's perception, but they've also created a situation where you feel like they're part of the reason that you can't earn enough. I don't know, which is really shitty. And like, I want to say, I'm just thinking of the movie Rebecca. I don't know, have you seen that movie? I love old films. I've seen like a lot of classic films. Sorry, I'm not talking about the one with like is it Margot Robbie or some actress like more recently. I'm talking about like the old one, Rebecca. It's like kind of more creepy and like folksy, and it's just like, I think it's about a ghost, yeah, that his wife is like haunting them, and she died, and I think he killed her. I forget the plot, but it's something like that, something like tragic and scary, and there's a ghost, and I don't even know where that came from. Okay, but that's the energy here. It's like, that might not make sense for what I'm saying, but it does, okay? Because it's like that somebody's actions have like affected the energy of our current lives and our current reality, okay? Somebody has like because like Rebecca, because this new woman comes and she's intuitive, because I don't remember why I think she works in like, she work in customer, oh, she's like she's someone who like goes on dates with men. Is she an escort or something? But no, I don't think she sleeps with them. Anyway, whatever. She just like is a companion. And then this man's like, I love you. And so I'm saying she's good at tuning into people's feelings. Okay, so she comes to his house, and of course she tunes into this energy that this ghost woman is like haunting them. And it's really just the energy left behind from what happened, from how she was murdered. And she can feel it, and it's like I forget whether he's involved or not, but either way he's not telling her, and it's like effed up, and he should have told her out front. And I was thinking of like a bouquet that I'm holding this, like, I feel like life has handed you like a shit bouquet, and you're like also just beating yourself up, like that you're not good enough, that you're not like, mainly that you're not earning enough, and you feel like, yeah, queen, whether you're a man or a woman, you feel like Queen of Pentacles, like just poor, you don't have resources, you don't feel organized, you don't feel like you have the things you need. And like, I was gonna say, you can take this like shit sandwich or shit bouquet that life has handed you and just be like, oh, I'm gonna tidy that up and screw your shit sandwich, and you can just leave it there for them to sniff on their own. Sorry, I just feel like some sort of, I was gonna say, in terms of getting out anger, there's these things called rage rooms. I don't know if you've heard of that, but like a lot of people don't get angry until they're really pushed. Like, you know, maybe someone's withholding like a major resource, or like playing with some life or death thing and they're like scared. Those are times that people can be angry, and it's like, you know, a lot of people would be angry in those situations. Like, you know, if someone's withholding food or I don't know, I'm just like, these are like torture situations, but they do happen in domestic spaces. People don't realize, like, there's a lot of crazy stuff that people go through. I'm just thinking of like some abuse cases that I read about, or, you know, I do paintings about legal situations that I have for a long time, especially with women, and I used to research some of these abuse cases just to know the emotion to evoke going into it of victims and what they went through. And I read some disturbing stuff that, you know, people don't think that your kin would do these things to you. But I'm just saying, there's like some bad stuff going on in this dynamic where somebody's like not well, and they were like, you had to just like leave. You just be like, you know, before this is the Five of Swords, which is about feeling defeated. But I think it's, rather than sit in that defeat of how these people made you feel defeated, you were like, okay, bye-bye, which was the best thing for your sanity. And the 6 relates to Venus, so you're headed towards love, okay? And let's get some more messages of hope for the viewer. I'm just feeling like whatever happened here, there's also like just some sort of emotional abuse that's going on here. Like, okay. 8 of Cups. This is about leaving a situation, an emotional situation. I don't know if you were, yeah, just this really similar to this theme, 6 of Swords. This is like, all right, well, I'm just not gonna deal with this BS anymore. You're like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And you know what? I get that. And Spirit team is telling me like, you got out when you could, which just keeps coming up in my readings. But also like, there's trauma. Like, I saw like I was right behind like a purple heart bumper sticker, which means somebody who was valiantly wounded in a war. I think it's, or actually, is it all wars? I don't know. I'm stupid like about little detail things like this. I definitely know in Vietnam, a lot of them were purple hearted because there was like some gas stuff that people got exposed to that really effed up people's lives. I don't know if you just feel like permanently damaged by the situation, but I want to tell you that you're not. Like, you can always rebuild. You can always start fresh, and just like, you know, leave the pain where you found it. Just like, you know, as I said earlier in the reading, I don't know if we went over these cards. There is a manifestation for you. You feel like you're disadvantaged by the situation financially a lot. And you feel also that people are putting pressure on you, which feels like gaslighting somehow. But like, you know, in the middle of feeling like, oh, we're not getting there fast enough, and oh, it's not being given to me, or oh, there's no opportunities that are like new and ready for me to grasp, there is something being offered. So just be ready for that. So that's just in the reading too, as a side thing. Like, don't like give up on, because we got this card too. This is about something coming to you. It's about your ships coming in. So I just feel that like when something bad happens, there's something good around the corner. And you know what? I'm an eternal optimist. It's really effed up. I've been through some crazy stuff in my life. Like, you wouldn't believe. Like I know a lot of readers probably say the same. Actually, you know what? All readers say this in their own way, okay? I will say it in my way. There's been some wild things that have happened in my life, including all relationships. You know, I'm a Scorpio, and Scorpio has the 7th house in Libra. If you look from the sun, it has the 7th house in Libra, which I do that as well as from the ascendant, because I'm a weirdo. But so that means that we have some toxicity with relationship. So just go from there in terms of what my trauma is. But I don't think that this is keeping you from your good fortune and your magic in life, because I think that you're turning the wheel. And also, this is about being defensive. You're like guarding yourself now in a way that's like, I don't want to say it's bad. That card is usually, people are like, oh, people are being defensive. But I think this is healthy defense. This is like, no, my life is sacred. No, my feelings are sacred. I saw this bird. I was driving and feeling super lousy because I try to stay within this schedule for my healing, because I know that I get dysregulated and I want to allow it rather than suppress it. So I let myself become dysregulated within reason. And yesterday was one of those days, and I was just down, and there's this bird, I think it was a sparrow, just like flying in front of me, and it was like literally guiding me, and we flew for like 8 minutes together, and I started laughing because it was like so close to the windshield, but it was literally just like dipping up and down and just guiding right smack in the middle of my car. And I just felt like this is like God or spirit talking to me right now, or like my spirit guides and I just felt the message of like, because I had just seen the Purple Heart, so I was like, oh, I'm feeling like my wounds of my life, and then, which is so easy for us to do, and like you can try to avoid it, but at a certain point you're gonna have to go in there and get in there and get your scalpel and get ready, get some bandages, because otherwise you're just gonna have a escaping wound energetically. So I was all raw, and then it felt just really nice it was like spirit saying like, we've been with you this whole time, and we like see you. And I know that that's the case for the viewer, that spirit has been with you. It's been guiding you, it's been watching you. And yeah, you feel inadequate right now, or you feel disadvantaged, you feel also angry, you feel frustrated, and you have the energy to go make this money, but somehow it's not, you're being blocked by the universe. And you know what, that's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I think as a kid you thought everything was your fault, for the viewer. You're really intuitive, and like relationships for you are really like I just said, like Meet Me in St. Louis. Have you seen that movie? I just really wish I could think of the song. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, your troubles will be miles away. Oh my God. Is it Judy Garland? Yeah, I loved her growing up. I was such a big fan of Wizard of Oz. I saw it a million times. I used to watch it on repeat and just fall asleep watching it over and over, and put it on like repeat on my VCR, which somehow was a thing. Yeah, I was very obsessed. But that movie is a different energy. It's like somber, and it's about like reality and like hard things and families and loss, and it's, that song is sort of like, just, Christmas is always, there is a sadness to these holidays sometimes. And I don't know if you're like, there's something in Christmas coming up for you, maybe. Because I don't think that it's by accident. And I've been thinking of that song for a couple days. It's been in my consciousness. Like, there's something, I'm not saying you have to like wait around in this like horrid whatever, sounds like a Frozen state, like a Four of Swords situation, like you're like paused and you're frustrated and you're like I don't know if it's gonna last all the way through Christmas, but I know that at Christmas there's gonna be like I'm just seeing like a patio. You're not gonna be like, patio is circular. I'm seeing like a porch that has like a circular roof, like an outdoor porch, like a circle porch. You're gonna be like somehow encircled by something. You're gonna be in a more of a safe situation. I don't know if you're like in an unsafe situation in some ways right now, but just, I know, and I'm not saying you have to wait till December, but I know that at that point you will have been in this situation for a while already. The situation will feel more safe. It will be it will be a repetition of times. There's been times when you, so I said as a child, you always thought everything was your fault. And oh, I was gonna say it's gonna be a repetition of times when you saved yourself before. And you're gonna save yourself. And you've already thought of the idea. I can feel it. The energy's there. You know what you're gonna do. So it's just a matter of trusting yourself. And a lot of times we don't trust. But Spirit wouldn't have put those thoughts in your head if they didn't trust you to know what to do next. So I was gonna say also with that movie, like, you know, Judy Garland had like a super tragic life. She was like abused as a child sexually, and she had like the worst stage mother, and she was like anorexic, and she had like all these, or she had an eating disorder, she had all these issues, but she was so incredibly talented. Oh my God. So moved people, and like, and her daughter is incredibly talented. I think she's still alive, Liza Minnelli, right? And then if you watch some documentaries about their relationship and their dynamic, it's actually amazing, like what they went through, and like just the talent, honestly, the talent. I think you have some talent, the person who's watching, that you're not seeing. And I think it may be involved already in what you do for work, but you're really good at it. Like, you know, you are, I'm seeing from Spirit that you have a talent, you know, you have a skill, because since we're talking about Scorpio people, and like Scorpio they're since I said their 12th house is in Libra, that can also mean like a hypersensitivity to relationships. So I don't know if you are a person that has like, you're just like in tune with people, because we got this card before. This is about intuition, this is relationship. So I don't know if you're just like maybe like psychically skilled and you can't like talk about it really, but you are. So I am seeing talent here that is actually what got you out of the situation that was stifling, and is gonna get you out of this again. That's why we have the circle, because it's like, it ain't rocket science. I'm just kidding. That's what they say when you go to a waitress job and they like want to blame the system crashing on you. They like to say, hey girl, this ain't rocket science. And you're just like, oh, I have a master's degree. Sorry. I'm just talking about my life. This is in the past. I don't do this kind of work anymore. Anyway, I don't know if you had those kind of situations recently too, where you've been in that energy where you've been like, this is ridiculous, I'm being demeaned, I'm being degraded. But anyway, some closing cards. Recovery from poverty. Recovery from a shitstorm. Sorry, I'm reading them as optimistic here. Maybe not everyone does always read the Tower reversed as negative, but I do. I read it as like bliss, like just like the absolute opposite of the Tower, which is like everything's a mess, and this is like, we have no money, we're like in poverty. This is like, we're getting over these things. And so what is just like a word of advice from Spirit? And I will talk about something else was in the back of my mind that I wanted to discuss, but marriage. There's just gonna be like more, you know, unity in your experience, because I feel like it feels super fragmented right now, like the energy, the aura, or whatever, the whole vibe. I'm seeing Calvin and Hobbes. Have you ever seen that cartoon? I feel like there's just, I'm feeling like you're feeling like, what's the point of doing the things I like to do? Like, there's no point, because I'm like, you know, what's the point of putting myself out there because of this situation? But I just feel like if you keep your vision on what the goal is here that you want, you know, it's okay to get frustrated as long as you can see that in your mind and go over it with somebody. Like, I don't think whatever you're thinking is delusional. I want to get some other energy. I feel like there's someone who's trying to talk to you, like a positive person who sees what you're going through and they like care for you. Let's see what they want to say. Knight of, maybe this person has like passion for you, because this can also be anger and passion. Maybe they like are sexually attracted to you, but also angry with you. That's a great start. What else does this person say? Oh, the Fool. This person feels like they're watching you just go into different dimensions of of life that they've never dared tread. I'm seeing the Pied Piper. Maybe they feel like you are leading them into some like deep subconscious that they weren't ready to go towards in their life. and you really just like plunging through. You're just like, yeah, like, we don't know what's off this cliff, but we can't stay on this cliff because there's a tiger, so let's jump so we can be safe, okay? Because you saw like a waterfall and you're just like, hey, we gotta go. And this person is like, whoa, 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 I like don't play that way. I just like wait. I just like wait it out. I just look from all perspectives. I just like hang until the blood rushes to my head, and then, you know, my organs are cleansed, but then I don't know how to get back up. Maybe this person does like yoga or something. Let's hear more from this person, because they see what you're going through and they care about you, and they not only see the logistics of it, but they see the energy, like they care about like you feeling better about the situation. Okay, they see that something in this situation was like not right, something, and also or just that something in your life is like somebody's like doing something wrong, illegal, or like messing with things, or yeah, as we said before, like somebody trying to damage you or damage your life, but they also, they think that what they had to offer, you don't want it. They don't think that they don't like feel like they have anything to offer you, actually, because they think that they think they don't have what you need, like emotionally, but also they like have a green light for you, like they, yeah, public reputation, and I don't know if like there was like a celebratory creative energy here, or maybe there's like someone else that's involved here, like they're like with someone or you're with someone, which comes up a lot of my readings. But like they actually, I'm reading this here, public reputation, is they see that you're like somehow in the public, I don't know, and like I don't know, maybe like making yourself known, and they're like saying that that's great, and also they're saying to like celebrate and like, you know, celebrate that you're not in this situation as much as you were before, which feels like you're like, I don't want to hear that because I'm still stuck, but it's like somehow you're not. They also say that they want to, oh, sorry, I'm just gonna slow down here. This person wants to say that like they see that there was like a group that, or you know, I don't know who these people are. They see that like there's like combative situations in your life, and that you are trying to like be on your own and be in your peace and be in your joy and be in your creativity. Whew. I think this person is maybe watching you in some capacity, like what you do, or like keeping tabs on you, or like maybe there's been communication recently, but there's also just like an energetic tab, almost like an open tab on the computer screen. They're just like, they've got your vibe. Wait. What's the real thing we need to know here about this person? What's the real thing we need to know? Okay. Yeah, is it's like, if it's a man or a woman, they just like, okay, they have like big feelings. They're creative, and they're like maybe like very emotional and like giving also, but they're like sort of at a point in their life where they're like sovereign, you know, they've been through something. I don't know what it is, but they're just, I was gonna say before, I feel like I'm like watching myself when I give these readings, but I can feel my actual self chiming in and saying like, fun in the sun. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm a goofball. See, no, it's really not me doing these readings, because I'm like, I say crazy shit. And I'm always like making stupid jokes that makes no sense, and I don't even know. Well, that's me trying to come back in the reading, okay? Sorry. I was gonna say like fun in the sun. I feel like there's a person that wants you to just like relax, and that you're like, they see that you're like not into conflict anymore. Maybe there was conflict and you were just like, at a certain point you were like, I can't like fight with you, I just don't care. Let's see a final message from this person. This person feels like, I'm sorry, I just can't find the card I'm looking for. This person, I was gonna say that I saw the Justice card, and that is the one that made the most sense for me. I was gonna say, this is not our final card though, that like they feel like there's things that they'd like to help you with. Okay, actually with the Justice card, like they see that things have been unjust in certain ways, and they also see that like you energetically have like taken a stand in some ways. Okay, whoa, Spirit. I know that the main thing is this person feels a little heartbroken because this is like about people not working together, and they see that like maybe you don't work well together and they would like to fix that. And also you know, they think that you're in a place of a rebirth and they're excited to see that happening, and they like actually want to be part of it. I'm gonna get one final card because I feel like I'm just not getting the cards I want. Ooh, we got this card already. Okay, so this is like actually also a marriage card. This person may like want to marry you or think of that, but I don't think you're like super thinking that way. Or like, I don't think that you think this could be a reality with this person. Or if it's just a friend, I think they would like to spend more time in harmony celebrating with you, and you don't even, I think you feel isolated right now. Queen of Cups. There's like, and the Emperor's control. So like, the Emperor is also Taurus, and this could be Cancer. So I don't know if like, those signs are sextile. So that means like, there could be, is it 60 degrees? There could be like, what was offered energetically, because sextile means who we like talk to and who we like interact with, and like what the interaction is. Like, say I'm this Lincoln log and you're that Lincoln log. How do we meet up to make the castle? Okay, that's what sextile is like relational energy. So I think this person, like, they want to bring you some emotional care with the Cancer, and then they also want to help you like with the Taurus and the Emperor. They want to help you like take control of your life, because I feel like there's been situations that you just didn't have control over. All right, I'm gonna stop the cards unless I pull one special card at the end that we haven't gotten. We keep getting the same cards, which gets me in a frustrated place and is not good to really work from. But I was gonna say, like, I'm seeing the Lover's card because I think that you've made a major choice to put yourself first. And that's really what the point of this reading is. Like, I think that, like, I'm just feeling like the energy is like making me feel confused now, but I think you felt confused because other people have done things in your life, like put blockades. I'm seeing like blockades, like almost like shoved a cart in front of you and been like, go ahead, try to jump over that. And you're like, okay, I'm in the middle of running a marathon. Yeah, a marathon. Your life has been like a freaking marathon, I think, at this point. But I just feel like there's gonna be, oh, this is a good one. There's gonna be like a happy situation that this culminates in. So yeah, I don't know. I'm also hearing like, don't go that way. Don't go that way. Sometimes I just like hear phrases in my mind's eye. I know that sounds convoluted, but like, I don't know if you feel like there's like signs saying don't go, oh, like any choice I make is wrong, but this is because this situation has made you feel like your intuition and your whatever thoughts are wrong because somebody is like gaslighting you. But this actually, the way you're getting out of this, or have gotten out of it, or have gotten this far, is your intuition. So let it guide you and trust yourself. You know, I'm thinking of this Dr. Seuss quote, and I can't remember the first part of it, but it's like, those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. And it's like, you know, I think that you're going to be, the more that you accept yourself and accept that some people are just like screwed up, and, you know, sometimes we're like victimized by other people, and you just have to like move on and do the best you can with the tools you have. The more that you can settle into that and know that you're a good person, and I see that, the more that you can move past this. And the more, you know, it can also just be like a long-standing relationship that's incredibly toxic, and there's like some emotional abuse happening, you know, or some neglect happening, or just, you know, it's okay. And I want to get one, please give me a different kind of card. Well, this is about innocence. I don't know if you feel like your innocence has been taken from you by the situation, but it's weird saying that's like still there, and I just feel like you're gonna be okay. And I'm seeing the movie Born Free, which is about a lion who's released into the captivity, and the song's like, born free as the wind blows, as free as the grass grows. Okay, and it's from the 60s, and it's like these people like had a lion when it was like a baby because it was like injured, and they like nursed it back to health, and then like raised it up to grow to a big strong lion, then released it into the, you know, wilds, and then I think in the end it like recognizes them, and I don't know, it's just like cheesy and corny, but like you have let part of yourself out with this situation, okay? But it's coming back to you, because like, it sounds kind of sad, but like sometimes we do lose parts of ourselves. We do lose ourselves sometimes when people, especially if there's like something wild, like someone's really targeting you, which is what I'm getting in this energy. You know, don't discount that we can get shaken by things, but don't discount that you can step up again, stand up again, pick yourself up, dust yourself off and try again, like the Aaliyah song. Dust yourself up and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. If at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Yes, I'm an R&B person too. Anyway, that's the reading. It's gonna be okay.